You are a guardian angel and designer. What the f is you talking about, man? You are not from Harlem. Why do you keep thinking that you are from Harlem, bro? You are not from Harlem. I did not grow up with you, man. Do you remember how we met? Pause. Not met, how you got cool with us? Basically, you heard our freestyles. And you came up to me one day when I was chilling in front of the house. You said, yo, man, I heard the freestyles. Y'all killing shit.
This is the kind of drama nobody saw coming. Cam'ron and Mase just went off on Jim Jones. And when we say they held nothing back, we mean nothing. The history between these three is long and deep. But this time, it feels like all gloves are off. It started with a simple conversation, and then turned into a full-blown takedown. Cam'ron basically said Jim Jones was never really from Harlem like he claims. Cam looked straight at the camera and said, "Bro, you are not from Harlem. I did not grow up with you. I don't know why you keep saying it like you were one of us." That statement alone was enough to shake the internet. Cam'ron didn't stop there. He reminded everyone how Jim first got cool with their circle. According to Cam, Jim was just a fan, someone who came up to them after hearing their freestyles. He wasn't part of the core. He wasn't at the places where the magic started, like the early Children of the Corn freestyle sessions with Mase and Cam'ron. Cam said, "You wasn't there." "I was there. I was the CEO of the Diplomats. I built that with him. You were a fan." He even claimed Jim begged to hang out with them after hearing their early mixtapes. According to Cam, it was Mase who actually taught Jim how to rap. That's a big claim, and a blow to Jim's image as a self-made artist. Cam'ron went in even harder. He started roasting Jim's appearance, saying he looked unhealthy and needed to go on a diet. He called him bad body back, said his neck and waist looked crazy, and even admitted he was body shaming him. Then he added, "especially for playing with me." That line hit different. Like this wasn't just trash talk, it was personal. But it didn't stop at looks. Cam accused Jim of being soft with people who actually put pressure on him. He claimed that every time someone really checked Jim, like physically, Jim ended up becoming friends with them. He said Jim tried to chase French Montana out of the game, failed, and then ended up attending his movie premiere, even though the movie was dissing Jim. Imagine sitting in a theater, watching a film, and realizing you're being mocked on screen, and still sitting through it.
The CEO of Diplomats, I made Diplomats with him. I was with him for every bit of his journey. I held him down. I took that position of holding him down.
I was a fan. You begged us. You are a fan. A fan. So you can sit around and act like you've been around all this Harlem and everything. You ever see somebody from Harlem try to act like they from Harlem so bad that you got to keep saying, "I'm from Harlem"? From Harlem know who's from Harlem. You don't have to keep saying you from Harlem.
Cam also threw in a major bombshell. He said he could have exposed Jim running from BMF back in the day. Cam described how Jim ran into the sand by the beach, trying to get away, and that Cam never told that story before out of respect. But now, it's out. And Cam made it clear. He never needed to humiliate Jim like this, but enough is enough. Then came the heavy line. "I'm never here to downplay your character, but you've spent years trying to degrade mine." That's when you realize this beef isn't new. It's been building for years, maybe decades. Mase also chimed in and said something that hit deep. People laugh at lies, but the truth hurts. He confirmed that he taught Jim how to rap. And he gave Cam his flowers too, saying Cam always made sure Jim was on every album, always encouraged him, and told him to keep going. Then, Mase said something many fans weren't ready to hear. "Without Cam and me, there would be no Jim Jones." That line cut straight through all the noise online. The internet is full of fake stories, rumors, and wild narratives. But this time, it feels like the truth is finally coming out. And it's not pretty. On the other side, Jim Jones has tried to play it cool. He doesn't seem bothered. He said he's always stood 10 toes down and that he doesn't waste time clearing up lies. He knows who he is. He also claimed that he never said he built the Diplomats from scratch. According to Jim, when he met Cam and Mase, the whole Dipset movement was already in motion. But Jim did claim one thing. He said he created the Dipset look, the branding, the actual vibe that people associate with the name. So, while Cam and Mase created the group, Jim says he gave it style and presence. Still, there's a deeper layer to all this. Some say the real reason for the fallout between Cam and Jim is jealousy. As Jim Jones started rising in popularity, especially after the success of Ballin', Cam allegedly started feeling like his spotlight was fading. One insider said it's like when the sidekick becomes the star and the original frontman doesn't know how to handle it. Jim used to be the muscle, the one making sure Cam stayed safe. He was never supposed to be the one in front. But success has a way of changing the game. And when Jim started getting attention for his own music, tensions rose. It's like a power shift happened, and Cam couldn't accept that Jim was standing next to him or even ahead of him. Someone even compared it to Sammy the Bull becoming the boss over John Gotti. That's how personal this feels. People close to the situation say the tension has always been there, but now it's out in the open because of podcasts and social media. Stories that were once private are now going viral. Old beefs are being brought back to life. And fans, both old and new, are watching every second of it. One person close to the group said the wedge between Cam and Jim wasn't about loyalty. It was about success. Jim's rise made Cam uncomfortable, and that created distance. What was once brotherhood became competition. At the end of the day, all three of these men, Cam'ron, Mase, and Jim Jones, played a massive role in shaping New York hip-hop. Their legacy is forever. But now, that legacy is getting torn apart in front of the whole world. Fans are left wondering, is this beef real or just part of the show? Is there any hope for a Dipset reunion? Or have the bridges been burned for good? Only time will tell. But one thing is clear. This isn't just about music anymore. This is personal, and it just got ugly. Stay tuned because something tells us this story isn't over yet.